Und aber jetzt kommen wir zurück bei Honkai und wir machen weiter mit der Hauptstory. Weiter. Let's go. So, ja, gehen wir rein jetzt zum Archiv. Guten Tag.
The atmosphere in this archive room is giving me the creeps. It's so gloomy. Almost like we've stumbled into Fixtroll Garden.
It was like this 15 years ago as well. The archives tracked all academic results. Near the final exams, students dissatisfied with their abilities often poured their frustration into painting unsettling things. There's a lot of data stored here. Aside from what my father organized for us, let's explore the other areas as well. If possible, keep an eye out for clues regarding Fullwish's life after graduation. She returned to her alma mater frequently, so there must be records of her visits. Dabbling in technology related to the abundance. Where exactly did she acquire it? Perhaps her past holds a clue.
Is this?
Als war sie wirklich schon wieder den gleichen Trick abgezogen und dir an der Schule ein Geschenk hinterlassen. Beschlagnahmt. Bei der Fanclubs. Datum der Beschlagnahmung. Beschlagnahmender Gegenstand. Sparksy spricht hier. Grund für die Beschlagnahmung: 3 Schüler der 2. Klasse und 5 Schüler der 1. Klasse begrüßten einen nicht genehmigten Club namens Sparksy Fanclub und hielten spät in der Nacht eine nicht genehmigte Versammlung in der Turnhalle ab. Die Clubmitglieder trugen bizarre Kostüme, schwenkten Näschstäbe und das Plüschtier herum, riefen zerstört das alte Modell und lang lebe Sparksylein und machten ständig Lärm. Was dazu führte, dass ein nachtpatrouillierten Lehrer einen plötzlichen Anfall erlitt und notärztlich behandelt werden musste. Entsorgungsmethode wird im Archivraum platziert und nach dem Abschluss zurückgegeben.
Did they really have to put this here?
Den Rechner. Ja. Ein Computer, der wahrscheinlich älter ist als du und seinen Lebensabend für diesen Schreibtisch verbringt. Bekannte Unternehmerin Fullwish besuchte kürzlich die Schule. Fullwish schüttelt Schülern herzlich die Hände. Was haben sie aus dem Rede mitgenommen? Sie sagten diese 3 Schüler
There are
dazu.
so many press releases here.
Renommierte Unternehmerin Fullwish stiftet Stipendium. Schule erscheint erstmals im jährlichen Universitätsranking von Wunscherfülltes TV. Wunscherfülltes TV berichtet erneut über die Jubiläumfeier unserer Schule.
The school's annual Distinguished Student Register from 1982 to 1984 for 3 consecutive years. First place was always Fullwish.
Keine Ergebnisse auf für deine Suche gefunden. Die Suchseite knallt dir diesen schwarzen Worte auf weißem Hintergrund direkt ins Gesicht.
The IPC has severed all channels of intel with its iron grip. Hardly a surprise. Formal caution regarding a student's non-compliant hairstyle. Disciplinary action concerning a student's involvement in 3 food poisoning cases. Disciplinary notice for a student's involvement in a physical altercation.
Verherrlich. Du hältst den Atem an und liest weiter. Und es dauert eine ganze Weile, bis du dich wieder losreißen kannst. Bestimmt. Das ist nicht die Aufgabe, die ich hatte. Ganz unten nach all den Einträgen zu Himiko befindet sich eine Berufsurkunde der Fakultät von vor 15 Jahren. Diese neue hochrangige Assistentin ist die Tochter des Rektors. Ihre Qualifikation ist schwach, daher kann sie keine körperlich anstrengenden Arbeiten erledigen. Denk dran, teil sie nur für Schreibtischarbeiten ein. So stand es in der Notiz der Akte. So, und jetzt noch der Aktenschrank. An der anderen Seite. Auf dem Etikett dieses Schrankes steht Alumni-Jahrbuch. In welchem Jahr hat Fullwish den Abschluss gemacht? Es scheint dich zu erinnern, dass du diese Information irgendwo erhalten hast. Manchmal reicht ein wenig Schlussfolgerung aus, um für eine Erinnerung auszugleichen. Wir haben das Jahr 1999 des Kalenders. Der Vorfall mit dem Horror des Todes ereignete sich vor 15 Jahren. Das Jahr, in dem Fullwish den Abschluss machte, ist Dein Blick schweift über die jugendlichen lächelnden Gesichter auf dem Foto. Es wirkt so real. Wenn man bedenkt, dass diese Leute jetzt im mittleren Alter sind. Bedauerlicherweise war Fullwish nicht unter ihnen. Das Design des Jahrbuchs ist ziemlich abgefahren. Alle auf dem Abschlussfoto sind sozusagen, als hätten sie einen Kostümladen geplündert, und ein Genie hat sogar seine illegalen Produktionen für das Gruppenbild mitgebracht. Die Kultur an dieser Schule ist wirklich liberal. Bedauerlicherweise war Fullwish nicht unter ihnen. Die erste Seite zeigt ein Abschlussfoto mit einer düsteren Stimme. Keiner der Schüler aus dem Bild deutet auch nur ein Lächeln an. Sie stehen spärlich verteilt, wie die Zähne im Mund eines Greises, getrennt durch Lücken, die niemals gefüllt werden können. Im Absolventenjahrbuch des Jahrgangs 1984 findest du die Seite von Fullwish. Fullwish, Geburtstag unbekannt, Adresse auch unbekannt. Seafold City ist die Stadt von der Kenia Bestürzungssternenzone. Ziel nach dem Abschluss: Institut für Kognitionswissenschaft, Gartenstern der Botanik. Meine Lieblingsfarbe weiß. Traumziel die Küste. Lieblingsziel Hallucigenia. Ideale Karriere Lehrerin. Ersten Platz. Gut.
Garden Star of Botanical Study. Cognitive Science Research. Miss Dolly mentioned that Fullwish went beyond the sky to study after graduation. Turns out this is where she went. Let's go chat.
Dann machen wir die anderen quatschen. Einen wunderschönen guten Tag.
Well, did you find anything?
Ja. Du erzählst hier, Miko, von den Hinweisen, die du Alumni-Verzeichnis entdeckt hast.
Garden Star of Botanical Study? It appears to be a greenhouse world located within the Consternation Star Zone. Ah, found it. Its property ownership is registered under a specific school within the Intelligentsia Guild. Strange. The name of the school is encrypted. I've heard conspiracy theories claiming the Herald of Death from 15 years ago was actually someone from the IPC.
Von der IPC?
Given the great lengths the IPC went to in wiping away all traces after the incident, perhaps the rumors are true.
Fullwish was hurt by the Herald of Death. Yet, after studying in an institution funded by the IPC, she became a suspect in the new Herald of Death incident. You mean she created the happiness surgery after studying on that greenhouse world?
It's certainly possible, but the information is still too vague to make any judgments. I'm more inclined to think that after witnessing the power of the Herald of Death, she resolved to uncover the truth behind it. That's why she went to another world to study after graduation. But is the knowledge she gained in just a few short years enough to create the happiness surgery? If the power of the abundance used in the happiness surgery stems from the Herald of Death's lingering poison, would the IPC, who have tried to hide this in every way possible, really be unaware of her actions? There are too many things here that an ordinary scholar simply couldn't achieve. Perhaps I should contact her as a fellow alumna and have an open, honest talk.
Contact Fullwish as her senior? After all this time, would she even want to see you?
I don't know. Back then, I had taken a leave of absence from university due to health issues. So I was doing some idle work at my father's school to clear my mind. Fullwish would occasionally run to the library to slack off. She and Belle always appeared together, helping me organize newspaper clippings and library cards, all while chattering on about classmates' crushes and the latest gossip. They didn't treat me like a patient who needed special care, nor did they treat me like the dean's daughter. We often shared snacks brought from home and secretly dug out the school's collection of ancient books and paintings to admire them. Fullwish, she was the model student, always knowing a little more than everyone else. Her questions often went beyond the textbooks, pushing past the boundaries of what someone her age should know. When she looked through those illustrations of Imagine, I could feel the passion in her eyes, and an unspeakable sense of loneliness. If she still remembers our old friendship, she will meet me. Fullwish is walking a dangerous path right now, and the deeper someone walks into the abyss, the more they crave the recognition and understanding of old friends. I want to ask her myself, why has the happiness she pursues become an illusion that can only be maintained by a taboo surgery?
Me too.
Thank you, you two. And thank you for your investigation. Though many questions remain unanswered, at least I now have a clearer picture of her movements after graduation. By the way, before we leave the school, there's one more place I'd like to visit. Before I meet Fullwish, I want to say goodbye to that memory from 15 years ago.
You mean that old school building from 15 years ago?
Und weiter geht's.
We have all the clues we need. The culprit is me. Students these days are wait.
I'm so sorry. I just couldn't finish tidying up the ribbons, and now I've dragged you into staying this late.
Don't worry about it, Belle. It was my turn on duty today anyway.
Himeko? Is this?
Yes. In this imaginated classroom, the after images of the students from 15 years ago still linger in their original places.
Tomorrow is the school anniversary. I wonder how lively it will be. They've invited parents here. Will your parents be coming? Oh, Fullwish?
That's Fullwish from her youth.
Yeah, Dad already took time off. By now he's probably out on the streets with Mom, picking out formal wear. If it's my daughter's performance, we have to dress to the nines. That's just like him. He always loves making those kinds of jokes.
Then you'd better put on a good show, huh?
There won't be a show anymore, Belle. Because unexpected guests have arrived. everyone from the Astral Express, and Himiko. I didn't expect to meet you here. Did you enjoy yourselves at Star Rail Fest? Did you grant those smiling kids their wishes and bring joy to everyone?
Fullwish.
Himiko, you recognized me at just a glance.
Was musst du hier?
I am here to mourn that dusk from 15 years ago. Before making any major decisions, I always come here to sit in silence for a while. I thought Himiko was at school like the rest of us that day. When I saw Belle lying in a pool of blood, when I was crushed under the collapsed wall and unable to breathe, the thought crossed my mind. Poor Himiko. If you had met the Herald of Death with that delicate frame of yours. But who would have guessed? You're alive and living quite well. You became the navigator of the Astral Express, roaming freely beyond the sky, just like the three of us used to talk about in our chats. Your dream came true. Congratulations are in order. Himiko, do you know 15 years have passed? And my wounds have mostly healed. Regrettably, there are some scars and emptiness that time can never heal. Look around. Even here, even with these phantoms, their seats are still empty. Belle, Leon, Xianya, Mia, and so many others. 15 years have passed, and I've learned that time isn't a cure. It's a shroud, binding itself around me, layer upon layer. So I made a decision. I'm going to tear it open. I'm going to let everything bloody and unforgettable beneath it see the light of day again.
See the light of day? You were a victim of the Herald of Death, only to become the second Herald of Death yourself? You intend to use a power you can't possibly comprehend to win the Phantasmoon games. How are you any different from that monster back then? From the monster that took your parents' lives? I'm sorry. I shouldn't compare you to that devil. You still have a chance. Stop this now.
Stop? I'm sorry. I don't quite understand what you're saying. I would advise everyone to think twice before making rash accusations. As a media professional, let me give you a piece of advice. From now on, when you're in front of a camera lens, watch your expressions and be cautious with your words and actions. At the very least, try not to look so flustered during this public exchange. We live in a world where we are constantly gazed upon and watched by others. This camera crew was originally prepared for my upcoming speech, but meeting you all here, it really adds a wonderful dramatic flair. To the audience watching from your screens, you know my name, and I know that right now, You are watching me. 15 years ago, with the tacit approval of the IPC and the Arcadia Council, the Master of Elation's divine ritual degenerated into a barbaric, bloody game. You and I, the residents of this Arcadia, surrendered a lifetime of dignity, wealth, and time to them, all in exchange for a single full meal. We are surrounded by bizarre entertainment and stimulating gore. We soak all day in shallow, boring programs, achieving nothing. And now, we must live in fear of the unscrupulous atrocities of these supplicants from beyond the sky, forcing smiles as we applaud and cheer for them. Is this the happiness the god promised us? No! Absolutely not! The Master of Elation would never be deceived by miracles, but with pain and blood. What they desire to see. Oh, everyone, on that evening 15 years ago, what saved me was not luck. It was not the supplicants, and it was certainly not the IPC. Right here, as the Herald of Death approached, step by step, the one who sent down a miracle was the Master of Elation. They allowed me to escape with my life. And when I was trapped in a small room, consumed by loneliness, they sent me a mask. They revealed my mission to me, to bring happiness back to a plain Arcadia that has lost its smile. I, Fullwish, survivor of the blood-stained games, hereby formally announce that I will join the Phantasmoon Games! In this game, I shall win the Eon of Elation's authority. And then, I will make smiles of happiness bloom on the faces of every single person in plain Arcadia! Himiko, don't frown. Smile. I will bring happiness to you too, just as I will bring it to everyone. I won't manipulate the Phantasmoon Games like those high and mighty IPC executives. Nor will I treat the rewards granted by the God of Elation as bargaining chips for profit. We are in plain Arcadia, so we should decide the winner in a plain Arcadian way. I'll give you a stage if that's what you want. I invite you all to a televised debate at Fullwish TV in Seafeld City. The invitation extends to all supplicants.
A plain Arcadian way? That's just a way that benefits you. We're not going.
You can refuse, of course, but then, under the gaze of billions of viewers, you must accept your public image as frauds deceiving the world and cowards with guilty consciences. Remember, this isn't just an invitation. It is your only chance to defeat me in front of everyone. Since you believe you represent what is right. The stage is set. Come and perform this final act that will determine the future of the Arcadia with me. Or simply leave. The choice is yours.
Darn it! Are we just going to let Fullwish walk away?
We are right in the middle of the cameras she prepared. Remember to be cautious with your words and actions. Let's leave here and return to the Express.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Arcadian Morning Report. We're continuing our exclusive coverage. Just moments ago, we received some shocking news. The head of our station, Lady Fullwish, has officially announced that she will be entering the Phantom Moon Games as a supplicant.
At the same time, Lady Fullwish has announced a blockbuster special, the end of a century TV debate. She's inviting supplicants to the Fullwish TV studio to discuss and debate the topic, what kind of future will the Phantom Moon Games bring to this world?
What a magnificent topic! At a time when supplicants from beyond the sky are brazenly suppressing and insulting our local heroes, finally, a supplicant has appeared who truly cares about and represents the citizens of plain Arcadia.
Too true. Ever since these Phantom Moon Games began, signs of things spiraling out of control have been popping up everywhere. First, the famous streamer Sparksy tried to spread a mimetic virus. Then the nameless of the Astral Express clashed with the Daybreak Squadron, causing severe damage to Lookout Cloud and the Skyline Express line.
With so many accidents happening, you really can't help but wonder, are we seeing a repeat of the Bloodstained games from 15 years ago?
You got that right! Speaking of the Bloodstained games 15 years ago, Miss Fullwish herself was a survivor of that tragedy. She's come such a long way, never once letting her painful past keep her down. A true legend of resilience. Now Miss Fullwish has joined the fray as a supplicant. She must be here to stop the tragedy from repeating itself and to reclaim the peaceful days this world deserves from the hands of supplicants from beyond the sky.
Will she be able to shoulder the wishes of all plain Arcadia and set this game right again after it's spiraled out of control? Let's wait and see.
Ugh, so shameless. Reporting news about your own station director on your own TV station, and you still have the gall to pretend you've received some shocking news? Don't you guys talk to each other internally?
I see. Fullwish actively issued a challenge. I ran a search. Seafeld City is a port town neighboring Duo-Mention City. Fullwish TV's predecessor, Seafeld TV, is located there. Looking at it this way, the televised debate is obviously nothing more than a diversion. What Fullwish wants most is for us to walk right into the trap she's prepared. So, what do you think?
You're really going to the TV station to fight her?
I'll go, but not to debate. I'm going to tear off her mask of happiness in front of the entire audience. But before we act, I need more help.
Help? We can all help you. Wait, do you mean... Sunday?
Sparksy.
Ever
No.
since Sunday was dragged into the Phantom Moon Games by Yao Guang, he hasn't returned for days. However, I haven't heard of him making any public appearances either. Asking him to cooperate as a wildcard right now is a good idea.
But what's the deal with finding Sparksy?
Whether Sparksy counts as our ally is a massive question mark. But right now, there is indeed something we need her help with. Fullwish said that when loneliness trapped her in that small room, the Master of Elation sent her a mask. Her claim might just be a glorified way of saying the tavern sent her an invitation. But that phrasing reveals that she is likely a masked fool. If every fool has stepped into the tavern before, then there must be traces hidden there left by Fullwish as a fool. Just like
How we track down the clues about SparksyCon.
Sparksy. Will she stand on our side? Well, this is certainly a condition she wouldn't be able to turn down.
Wann ist die? Nicht lange zuvor im Hof des Phantasmons.
You just said, as for the brewing storm, whether the turmoil once again is the result of the laughter's mischief. What exactly was that supposed to mean? You mean to say the Joy Seeker wants to destroy the very rules they laid down, the game they wove with their own hand?
Come over here. This fox mask is a ritual instrument I once used in dance and music. It accompanied me across vast distances in search of an elixir of immortality, a mark of who I was in life. I've lost count of how long it has been since I last wore it since being enlightened and transplanted here. But here it is, presented upon the altar again, which means...
As the game's referee, you've been pushed onto the field. In this moment, you are now a supplicant.
For over a century, I presided over a war game in which supplicants carved out their own territories and vied for supremacy, using the power of the masks. I've also hosted survival games where emanators took the stage to compete, invoking eonic powers to try and slaughter every last opponent in a single day. Whenever the Phantasmoon games are at risk of being suspended or disrupted, I will use the authority granted by the elation and the abundance to measure, judge, and punish any violators. I guess you could call me the security protocol for the Phantasmoon games. But now, someone has gone and designated me as a supplicant. It's utterly unheard of. Who else but the laughter could pull off something like this?
Perhaps. Some entity harboring a deep-seated hatred for the laughter.
Who could it be? Entities like that. I couldn't count them all even if I used my toes. I warned that jerk ages ago. Take a joke too far, and you're bound to make enemies. See? Instant karma.
Never mind who he is or what he's after. We're here now. So what do you plan on doing? Fortune rests upon misfortune, and misfortune gives rise to fortune. Becoming a supplicant isn't necessarily a bad thing. Wouldn't that allow you to step openly into this chaos and drag the puppet master into the light?
You're looking to team up with me? Team up with someone from the abominations of abundance that you Xianzhou people despise?
That's hardly appropriate. You're an ancient sacred tree. It's the furthest thing from an abomination of abundance.
Oh, your standards are certainly flexible. The hunt and the abundance. We really make quite the interesting pair. So, where do you plan on starting?
How about we start by freeing my friend in the tree?
I nearly forgot about that. Chip away, little bird. I'll allow it.
General Yao Guang and Miss Fox, I've received some news that might interest you.
A happiness surgery that wipes away suffering. The power of abundance in this world is disgustingly excessive. It seems the most terrifying omen I foresaw may not originate from the Stellaron hunters, nor from plain Arcadia itself. This supplicant, called Fullwish, is also a dangerous variable.
If you can, I would ask that you direct your focus toward Seafeld City.
You want to take a trip to Seafeld City? It seems I'll have to use some special measures to shorten the journey.
Oh, this is the part I've been looking forward to the most. I've always been curious where exactly this secret court is located. And
Xianzhou lady, let me show you this world's most impressive method of travel. Here we are!
already? Wait.
Because naturally, we're taking the express to get where we're going.
All that build-up, and this is your idea of an impressive method of travel?
Well, what else? That's why I said you've definitely never seen this before. It's the Bulletworm Express. I bet you've never taken a ride on this.
You're the arbitrator of the Phantasm Moon games. For crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way of getting around?
You're a great general of the Xianzhou, for crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way to get around?
Fine. For the first time in my life, I finally know what it feels like to be
Ding dong! The train bound for Seafeld City is arriving at the station.
Hey, you got any money on you? Spot me a ticket, would ya?
That's the second time.
You haven't said a word the whole way, Xianzhou Diviner. Are you mesmerized by the scenery? Or is there something in your divinations weighing on your mind?
After casting divinations 1,000 times, one may learn to keep a still heart. Yet, each foreseen omen of doom still clouds the inner lake with gathering shadows. That is why, before divining, I usually wipe clean my mind's eye to clear away stray thoughts, lest the outcome be disturbed.
Take a word of advice from someone slightly your senior. Maybe it's nothing new to you. If we treat every approaching calamity like a final reckoning, wouldn't an infinite lifespan turn into prolonged suffering?
Enjoy the present. Indeed. Yet, worldly joys are fleeting as morning dew.
Diviners often miss the fun right in front of them because they foresee tomorrow's suffering. But have you ever thought about this? That so-called suffering of tomorrow might just be the poisonous fruit sown by you being terrified today. precisely because we know the ending that every scene along the way is so precious and unique, isn't it? Look at this harbor before us. When I first set foot here, all these streets, the fishing boats, the people, none of as far as the eye could see, there was only fire. The seas had been vaporized, leaving only fractured seabeds and ash that blotted out the sun. The demonic legions from beyond still hadn't departed, and the waves that would surge into Dovebrook had, in that moment, not yet arrived. Just on the mountain over there, a painter and I looked out at the iron-red scars on the earth. She told me, that which vanishes is bound to return. She swore to use her brush to preserve everything claimed by the destruction.
It seems she succeeded.
And so, I too shall keep my promise to her, maintaining the course of the Phantasmoon Games until the sands of time slip away. With every descent into this game's cycles, I shall enjoy myself to the fullest. Like sipping tea, be it sweet or bitter, I shall savor the flavor of every instant. To do otherwise would be a disservice to the people and things that have passed.
To savor a fleeting moment against the backdrop of eternity, naturally the flavor is profound. A pity, though. Even as a long-life species, my time is brief compared to yours. As a Xianzhou native, the karma I carry is far too heavy. I could never learn how to be as carefree as you. Miss Evanesia, what to you is a game to be savored, is a life and death reality for the living beings of plain Arcadia?
Alright then. Next up, I'm entering brooding and edgy serious mode.
That won't be necessary. I shall use the Eye of Ishvara to divine the fates of the people in Seafeld City. If they face imminent catastrophe, a red fate slip will be hanging above their heads. The rainbow surveys the heavens, perceiving 1,000 forms. Across the meridians of destiny, the Jade Abacus reveals its script. The celestial eye opens and shuts. Calamity looms overhead. The crimson slip is cast. Mr. Sunday will share my insight with you through the spirit bird, Miss Evanesia. Please, bear witness.
Is that their fate hanging over their heads?
Precisely. Come on, let's take a closer look.
Aber nicht mehr in dieser Folge. Nämlich, das war's nämlich für die Folge. Und man sieht sich nächste Woche wieder. Bis dann.